On this episode of Cuesta, David and I have our first ever guest on the show. Yay! A familiar voice if you listen to Sports Opinions podcast to its entirety. Josh Siegel, one of my former athletes, joins the show for the first segment. We talk about Rick Pitino being hired over at Iona. Then he leaves us, and me and Dave do our normal show. We talk about Gronk signing with the WWE, the Tokyo Olympics being confirmed, COVID-19 and its effect on all the sports leagues with everything being shut down because there are no sports right now. But thankfully, NFL saves the day with free agency and trades, and we go down a whole bunch of the free agent picks, the trades that have went on, give our opinions about them, and that's the show. So I hope everybody enjoys it. Thanks for listening. Hope everyone likes what they hear. What's going on, sports fans? Welcome to another exciting edition of Cuesta Dos. I am Alex Cuesta. With me, as always, is my brother David Cuesta. What's up, Dave?
Nothing much. Just thinking about how we're going to do this next week.
What do you mean how we're going to do this next week?
We'll delve into that.
Oh, boy. And also with me, and with David, technically he's not with any of us. David's not even with me. We're all doing this. We're all in separate places.
I'm not even with myself, Alex.
The beauty of the interwebs. I'm in New York, David's in New Jersey, and we have Josh Siegel all the way from Missouri. What's up, Josh?
God's country. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Now, people remember if you are one of the 2 to 12 people that listen to Sports Opinions podcast, Josh was one of the original early guys on the show. He's one of my former athletes when I coached over at Marist. My adoptive son I always wanted and never knew I needed. And we did a fun and exciting show about bracketology. I think it was like 2 years ago now.
It was 2 years ago. That's right.
And I think we both sucked, but everyone kind of sucks at bracketology, so it's okay.
If I remember correctly, I finished dead last in my office school. They had me put it together, and I thought I knew so much more than everybody because I had like a 4-hour commute, and then I came in like 10 out of 10, and everyone gave me crap for it because I was talking smack. But
well, that's what happens when you listen to Barstool and then ESPN and then all of them, and then you kind of schmold it together, and it's like, shit, I have nothing here.
It's better if you know nothing.
It really is.
That's true. Pick by color.
So it's unfortunate that we can't do a bracket this year for obvious reasons. Dave and I are going to delve into it later because we're going to talk about our topic, and then Josh is going to leave us, and David's going to kind of shut up because he doesn't care about this topic, right, Dave?
Whoa.
You have time. Yeah. Listen, you said you want to go get your Switch. You have time to go get your Switch now. Go ahead.
I definitely could.
But anyway, so we're going to talk, me and Josh are going to talk some MAC hoops. Again, speaking of irrelevant things, MAC hoops. Does anybody know where the MAC is? Not the MAC, the MAAC. It kind of looks like the Looney Tunes logo, that conference. But for some reason, Josh, we're going to be relevant in the MAC this year.
For one shining moment, we are going to be just relevant enough for them to put us on the bottom line at ESPN.
We might actually, it might get like a quick story. It might get like a quick, like, oh, guy caught in scandal goes to small school to rebuild his name. That's all it is right now. So we're alluding to Rick Pitino, for some reason, agreed to become the head coach of the Iona Gales. Josh, what was your first reaction when you read this?
I was pumped for them. Mad for us as Marist fans.
Are there Marist fans?
There's some. Marist alum. I'm not even sure I'm a Marist fan. I don't know if I see the game scores, and I'm like,
Coach Dunn has done a better job. He has a lot more competitive. But it's so let me we alluded to Coach John Dunn for the Marist Red Foxes. Let me run down the other head coaches, Josh. You ready for these great names and fantastic resumes?
Let's hear it.
Canisius Golden Griffins have Reggie Witherspoon. You have the Fairfield Stags have Jay Young. Manhattan Jaspers have Steve Masiello. Obviously, Marist has John Dunn. Monmouth Hawks have King Rice, which is one of the most badass names I ever heard. And
former UNC guy.
Former UNC guy, also had, was the head coach presiding over the greatest bench of all time with all this crazy stuff they did on their run. The Niagara Purple Eagles don't exist. Everyone remember that. Was Greg Paulus. He's their head coach. This website sucks. Keeps moving. Quinnipiac Bobcats have Baker Dunleavy. Don't know any relation to Mike Dunleavy. Really doubt it. Ryder Bronx have Kevin Baguette. St. Peter's has Shaheen Holloway. And Siena Saints have Carmen Marchiriello. I can't say that name. So obviously, Josh, Rick Pitino joins a really, really high-quality group of head coaches.
Yeah. And I just want to start off by saying I do not endorse him as a human being. He is not the most reputable guy. But that being said, would I take him at my my alma mater? Heck yeah. He is exciting. He's fun. College basketball, college sports, really. It is a coach-driven industry rather than the pros, which is quite the opposite. And when you get Rick Pitino, you're going to get players that are higher quality. Iona's been a traditional power. They finished, I believe, 7th this year in the MAC, and I think that'll be the lowest they finish in a long, long time.
Yeah,
just because they're going to get they're going to get the kids that
yeah.
Syracuse can't get,
Yep.
or they can't go to Syracuse. He's going to get the kids that, maybe they're not big enough to go to Buffalo, but they're going to get like second or third tier guys, which in the MAC, if you can get a second or third tier guy in New York State, you're still getting a pretty damn good player. And that's what Marist has needed for a long time. And unfortunately, they're probably all going to stay down in New York City, go to New Rochelle, play with Rick Pitino. I was calling for this 2 years ago, if you recall.
I do.
And I got shot down really quickly. Really quickly.
I think I was on board with it, though.
But yeah, I mean, when you're talking college sports, you're already talking about some shady stuff in most regards, not with our alma mater.
Well,
and,
speaking of shady, I want to bring that up. This is the biggest coaching splash, probably. It moves Brian Georges over as like the most high name coach, which Marist, women's coach, he was the most high name basketball coach out of all the coaches. But the biggest splash in the last few years, I want to say the last decade in coaching in basketball, was Marist when they hired Chuck Martin. Chuck Martin was Calipari's recruiting expert over in Memphis. He got caught up in a bunch of scandal because all the Memphis recruiting stuff eventually fell on his shoulders.
Yeah.
But it was a huge hiring at the time for the MAC.
Yeah.
And this is definitely the biggest hiring that I think the MAC has ever seen.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with that in just the sense that you're looking for somebody that's going to bring name recognition to your university. And there's a guy that's been out of the sport for 3-4 years now, 2-3 years, I can't remember.
Something like
who left in disgrace. But if you're just trying to sell tickets, if you're trying to get recruits, if you're trying to make your team better, regardless of the moral aspect of it, then you probably couldn't do better. And you know how it is. You're the MAC. You're like a third-tier conference. We're not even the best MAC in the NCAA. He'll be there for 2 or 3 years. He'll turn them around. He'll get a few good guys. Maybe someone goes to the league. Someone gets an undrafted free agent contract, plays summer league with the Knicks or something like that.
Whole bunch of European players.
Oh, yeah. You know that. He's already scouting out in Transylvania because he's a vampire. But the thing is they're going to be so much better than the rest of the MAC for like a 3-year stretch. He's going to get a job at like another mid-major, or maybe even leap back into the ACC, or the Big Ten, or some other major conference. But I think everybody knows it's a stepping stone, and it's about whether you want to play that game of, do I care about the morality of hiring this guy? Are we really trying to mold young men? Are we trying to win games? And can I fault Iona for it? No, because I'd be tuning into more Marist games that they hired Rick Pitino.
He's a good basketball mind. His basketball mind is fantastic. Now, Question for you. If you're a MAC coach, the moment that they go on a winning streak, are you automatically calling the NCAA office and goes, check on this guy? He's definitely cheating again.
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting coffee with him and asking what he's doing. Like,
hiring his assistant coach.
Wild West. I mean, dude, I'd be playing the game a little bit better. I mean, I would probably be, winging it. It's college sports. You gotta look for the best advantage. You're not getting the resources that all these other major universities are getting, but you do have the recruiting base. You and I have talked about this in previous conversations.
Yep.
Any school in New York or in the metro area, the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, if you're not getting those top tier guys, you better be scouting, because there's gems out there. What was that Justin Robinson? The guy was like 5'6", but he scored like 3,000 points at Monmouth. Like, these guys exist. And if you're willing to scout hard enough, he's from Newburgh of all places. If you're willing to scout hard enough, these guys are out there. And when you're Iona and you're located so close to New York City, and you don't really have to go far to find those guys, so you're already at an advantage there. Like schools like Manhattan are. Then you're just, the talent comes to you when you get a name like Rick Pitino. And it won't be much longer until they're back on top of the MAC. What did Canisius win it this year?
God knows. I looked at the MAC and I was like, this is stupid. Manhattan's nowhere to be found. Ryder sucks. Iona's terrible. I'm like, this isn't the MAC. I don't care.
Yeah, it was just a different year. Yeah. And so I would assume that they're making a decision based on, he's going to be here for a few years. He's going to get us back to winning like we were. Because they were, when I was at Marist, 2-3 years ago, they won the conference, I think, every year, or they were in the conference championship against Manhattan every year.
Yeah, it was Iona, Manhattan, Siena, Ryder kind of hanging around there, and then everybody else.
Exactly. And so, do I think that they think that he's going to be there for the next 10 years and he's going to win all these MAC championships and get to like the Sweet 16 once or twice and he'll be happy with that? No.
God,
but I do think, yeah, I sure hope not. But I do think he's there. I think he gets them back on track. I think he gets them a national name that, quite frankly, Iona or any team in the MAC does not have. And he gets them back on track, and that's all they probably want. And they have, how they throw money around out there in Iona. Like they're going to be just fine. And
there's a reason why at the Marist games, as we're getting crushed by them, our favorite chant for a lot of the MAC schools is safety school, which is really mean. It's really mean. We'll be getting crushed like 83 to like 44, and the other side's going nuts because, McCann can't fill up either. And then the safety school chant comes, and then they kind of are quiet because it's pretty much true.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at the academic standards, and Marist is always, we're top tier.
That butchers our athletic programs.
It butchers our. I mean, you get guys like me. That's not what you want. I mean, I'm brilliant, but can I run fast? No.
I mean, you able to fast races. You just ran them backwards.
I did, and so I'm just saying, these guys. If we're talking about winning on the field, they're always going to win on the field, but. We're excited for them. I'm excited that the MAC is something relevant in it. That a MAC game is going to be watchable. If I was a student at Marist still, I'd be psyched because I get to see Rick Pitino coach. That's pretty cool.
I would definitely go to the Iona home game.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you have to. Bring 100%. Josie, sit her on your lap, sit courtside. Heckle Rick Pitino, maybe,
Wear Louisville, everything. Just wear Louisville, everything. Stand behind the bench and scream.
Or get a Papa John's cutout. He's a Kentucky fan now. Like one of the two. Like you got options. Like he's had a long career. You get an Antoine Walker cutout. Then you have beef with him. Like
You're just throwing so many names out there.
I told you I'm firing from the hip. I've had a long day. You think I watched any college basketball this year? It was an awful season. But I will say, this has me excited, and I will watch MAC games this year.
That's awesome. And Josh, it's always good to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. You got to call me more often. I'm out in God's country doing God knows what, and
I will try.
I'm a little wayward.
You're a busy man. It's hard enough to get you to answer a text.
Oh, okay. That one was on me. I thought I responded. I didn't mean to ghost you there for a little while, but
yeah, that's what all the ladies say to me. Anyway, Josh, it was awesome having you on. You're always invited on Cuesta Dose here and on Sports Opinions Podcast, so we will have you on again soon. I'm going to let you go out into God's country in Missouri again. Thanks again, Josh Siegel. Have a good one, brother.
God bless you. Thank you.
All right. That was
fun.
Yeah,
that was
Josh,
fun.
That was our first ever guest on the show, Dave. How do you feel?
Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it? It's like a little sports opinions interview right there. That was fun. The Rick Pitino thing, I'm not going to lie.
I don't care.
No, I'm just going to say, I completely forgot what he was in trouble for. I know he did something that was basically morally bankrupt to get the athletes in there, right? Or to get
Pretty
them.
Sure he was holding brothels.
Yeah, didn't he have to quote Bender, hookers and blow? Wasn't that basically his thing?
It was kind of like I didn't know. How am I supposed to keep track of so many guys?
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure I got the thing that he did right in my mind.
Now, David, this is a perfect transition. Speaking of hookers and blow.
Yeah, that is true. Speaking of hookers, well, I mean, I don't know.
Dave,
Gronk puts on that persona. I don't know if he's fully
Gronk
hookers and
Island?
blow.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, Gronk Island. But
him DDTing a guy on stage. You're telling me he wouldn't be sweating in an ice rink
I
Come
mean,
on.
that's a good point, but I don't know. There's something about Gronk that makes me feel like that he's not like he drinks a lot, but like I don't know if he's the hookers and blow kind of guy.
All right,
I'm
maybe
not
not the blow, but the hookers definitely.
at a hookers maybe, but maybe not even as much as you might think. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Gronk signed with the
Hookers and blow.
WWE.
I don't know if
Yes,
it's official. Was it official? Because I know
that
there
is
was
official.
talks. Oh my god.
Gronk signed with the WWE, where that's sports starved. That that was big news. But
Can you just do like the island slam and just like throw ships at people, like plastic ships?
I mean, I don't know.
Finisher?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what the hell he's going to be. Maybe he actually maybe he's bored and wants to do something. And, this isn't easy. So he can learn this and have fun in the ring. I mean, he'll just be Gronk. Like when Ronda Rousey came in, she was just Ronda Rousey. There is no persona you can
Edge,
take.
Shawn Michaels, all these guys that have pretty bad injuries. And I know Edge is like bouncing back and in a little bit.
Which I'm amazed by.
Oh my God, he shouldn't be. He might die. Same thing with Shawn Michaels. Same thing with Stone Cold. Daniel Bryan has no business wrestling again. Like all these guys are taking a lot of chances every time they do.
Edge wouldn't do it if he actually had the chance to die. Something happened there that he's at least better.
I think
now.
After hearing a few interviews after Edge hung it up for a few years, I think at this point, I don't think he cares. I think he just wants to get back in the ring. He went out on top. He was the biggest superstar in the game.
I know. That was really sad when he left.
Yeah, and then Roman Reigns came in, and anyway, we're talking about Gronk. So, Dave, how do you feel about Gronk going into WWE?
I think it's interesting. I think it's a splash for WWE. It's not like WWE is doing badly per se, but they're also the only sports going on right now. Technically,
UFC still going to hold their fights?
No, they postponed a lot of fights. Nevada basically said, "Yeah, we're not having any of that shit here," and so they really can't do much. Most of the states are cracking down, and there can only do no fans in the arena for so long, and sometimes they can't even get the arena. So WWE is the only one that's going to be able to do this stuff, and that's because they're just doing it at the Performance Center. But
that's
Gronk,
awesome.
Yeah, Gronk is interesting. Like I said, there is no persona that Gronk can really inhabit. He's going to be just Gronk. Maybe he's more like overbearing in his Gronk persona, but that's it.
He should dress up as the linebacker from Blue Mountain State because I swear to God they based that linebacker around Gronk.
Okay, maybe that, but he'll still be
Blue
Gronk.
Mountain State apparel.
Yeah, but he'll still be Gronk no matter what. I mean, I don't know if he actually learned how to wrestle. I have no idea. I have no idea if he's just going to be kind of like a manager type of guy.
We know Vince McMahon's love affair with big guys, though. If the bigger the guy, the more of a chance he's going to give them, and especially if they have some sort of athleticism, which we know Gronk is a freak athlete.
Yeah.
He's going to give them the opportunity, and Gronk is such a goofball, like showboat. I guarantee he's going to want to go off the top rope. I guarantee he's going to want to do all this stuff, and it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, and Gronk can promo, too.
I just hope he doesn't get guys hurt. Like, that's the bottom line, because it's all fun and games. Everyone knows that wrestling is pretty set. It's scripted. It's not necessarily fake. The slams are real. The hits aren't. But you'll talk to a lot of guys, and they'll be pushed, and they'll say, this guy's a stiff. He gets people hurt all the time. And that's the danger, is when you're working with other performers that aren't as good at selling things and doing the moves. And my concern isn't Gronk's athleticism, isn't Gronk's, strength.
It's his wrestling.
It's going to be his wrestling, and if he's going to get a guy's hurt, because they're going to put him up against Baron Corbin. Yeah. They're going to put him up against Kane and big dudes, and it's not going to be easy for him.
What I'm going to imagine is that they're going to have to train him well enough that he can handle himself in there, because you can't just throw him in there willy-nilly. They'll do that with like special cameos, or it's like, oh, just go, you're going to come into the ring and punch this guy, maybe DDT him. He'll do most of it. But they're going to actually train him a little bit for this.
I feel like the ideal thing is to start him off with a Daniel Bryan, to start him off with a Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, with someone who's really good.
Someone who's really good at selling, someone who's lighter, so he can really refine his moves. I wouldn't start him off with Seth Rollins, as good of a technical wrestler as he is, because I've heard a lot about Seth Rollins getting guys hurt, that he's not necessarily the most polished wrestler. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to put him in, and even with the Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is a lot of brawn. He's gotten better in the ring, but he's still not the most polished guy. You want him to be with, what's his face? The big Polish power, Cesaro. Put him in with Cesaro. Yeah, that's a perfect power guy. He's probably the best technical wrestler there right now. So I might watch some more just to see,
a fun
just to watch
story.
Gronk.
I always follow it on Twitter. I haven't been watching it as much, but I always follow it around on Twitter. So I see a lot of WWE stuff, and that one was surprising, but also not that surprising, seeing as like that's just something fun that Gronk can do.
So Conor McGregor, is he going once he's done?
Maybe. I mean, he's not done yet. He's not going to be done for a minute.
He gets knocked out one more time, he's done.
If he does.
If he gets knocked out or taps out, he'll be done because he doesn't want that hit to his legacy.
Yeah, but we got to see. We got to see when that happens.
The next time he fights Khabib, he's done.
Most likely. But we got to see when that happens. So,
yes.
I don't know. But WWE still going on. Maybe they should stop because wrestling's not the same without the fans there, without being in that arena. But, happens.
Yeah, who are they promoting to?
I don't know.
Oh, man. Anyway, speaking of potential promo, I guess it's a promo. Tokyo Olympics, Japanese officials, IOC, have come out and said that they are still on track for a start of the Olympics on July 24th. Now, this will kind of trickle into our next topic, the COVID-19 stuff, but the reason why I think that they're so positive with this is because from all reports, in Asia, this is really starting to, apparently it's hit its peak in China and South Korea and in the Asian side of the world. So I'm pretty sure they're believing that by July 24th, this will be died down enough in their region that they'll be okay. My concern is you have people from all around the world coming. Who's to say that a carrier is not going to step in there and reinfect that whole entire side of the world again?
Yeah, no, it's true. I think one point of why they're doing this is what you said. They believe that things are at least getting better marginally. So they believe this should be done by that time. And two, it's like, well, why exactly would you say no to something months out when you never know when this could die down? You got to at least say, listen, we're still going to have this going on, but there's always a contingency plan in case this gets worse and we actually can't have this.
So what do you think? An end of June will kind of be, I think, their push deadline of, yeah we can't do this.
Yeah, maybe even mid-June. They're probably gonna see what's happening over where they are. They're gonna see what's happening over where the West is, and we're gonna figure out, okay, is there even a reason to hold the Olympics if a good amount of countries might not be there?
All right, so this is something we talk about every week, but we will, continue to track it. Every week they give a new announcement to kind of confirm that it's happening. So
yeah,
as long as they continue to confirm it, we'll keep on giving updates or anyone that's interested in the Olympics. So
yeah, and a good amount of people are. It's always a fun thing to watch.
It's the biggest thing in the world when it's on. So it's kind of like the World Cup and the Olympics take center stage whenever they are on. So
yeah, exactly,
that's how that works.
Exactly. Now, talking about taking center stage, all sports are canceled. This is why I said I don't know what exactly we're going to talk about next week, because there is literally nothing going on except for the WWE because of COVID-19.
We'll make stuff up, Dave.
What?
We will make stuff up.
I mean, we can make stuff up, I guess. It's probably going to be very NFL heavy, free agency heavy. That's what we're going to have to do.
Cricket's still going on.
Yeah, you know what? Cricket is so gone.
They played a game in Pakistan with no fans.
It's always a good time to catch up on other sports and learn some new things.
I'm pretty sure some weirdos at Vassar College over here are still doing Quidditch. If they're not home, they play Quidditch here.
There you go.
Sports are sports, Dave. They're sports.
Dave. No, there aren't sports. There aren't sports. Don't act like there are. There are not sports. Sports bettors are now betting on the weather and Democratic debates.
Honestly, I want the World Series of Poker back on ESPN. I used to hate when that was there. Now I at least want that.
Exactly. But since these leagues are being suspended, there are teams stepping up to, especially in the NBA, they're stepping up to pay their hourly workers that work at the arena. Also, players themselves are stepping up and doing that. Some before the team does it. Yep. Like Zion Williamson is one of the names that pops out to me, mainly because he's a rookie. It's not like his contract is crazy. I mean,
endorsements.
That's what I'm saying. He has his endorsements, so that helps a lot. But he's still a rookie, and he stepped up. What is it, 100,000?
He's
giving, which is a good amount.
I think it's more than 100. He is supporting everyone for 30 days.
Okay, yeah, that's most likely more.
There's two other players. Okay, I think Blake Griffin gave 100. Rudy Gobert gave $500K. Now I'm going to talk about
because he felt terrible. I'm telling you that right now.
I'm not going to crucify the guy because in the beginning, number one, he probably didn't know he had it. He didn't feel symptoms.
No, he definitely didn't know.
Let's talk about the hypocrisy here. Everyone's mad that he touched the mic. No one's mad that he was sitting there talking and spitting on it because everyone spits a little when they talk, and that they were all in the same room within 6 feet. I'm like, everyone needs to get off their high horse. Rudy Gobert didn't know he had it. It wasn't a big deal. And let's talk about the fact that they are peak athletes. They're not dying. I'm tired of ESPN reporting every time athletes get it. I'm tired of it. These are the people that aren't at risk. Yeah, they're going to get sick. They're not at risk. I'm tired of it, Dave.
I mean, I get that it's annoying to hear, especially after hearing this every damn day. Just like, okay,
ones that are
I
at risk
understand what's happening.
Elderly. If you want to tell me about coaches and execs that are mostly, guys, okay, now we're talking. The athletes, no, go somewhere. Go somewhere with that. It's not a big deal. KD got it.
I get it.
Yes, one of the best athletes on the planet got it. You think he's going to die? I hope not. Very, 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 I think very slim chance that he even feels a sniffle.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
I mean, the only good thing that comes out of it is that when some athletes speak up about what they're experiencing with it, that does help a little bit, I guess, in notifying hey, you could be asymptomatic. Donovan Mitchell said that. He said I could be walking around and no one will know. If I didn't know if I was sick, no one would know I was sick. I could be just giving it to other people. I'm a carrier, but I'm asymptomatic. Yeah. So that's the good thing about knowing some of the athletes that have it. And I want to say they only really say the athlete's name when the athletes allow them to. Because you saw the report. It said 4 Nets players. And then KD was brought up in it. I'm pretty sure it's because KD gave his okay. Otherwise, you cannot release the names of the players.
I'm okay with the awareness aspect. I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with breaking news. And
I know
deal.
that
It's not a big deal that it's the numbers are gonna grow. They're gonna grow exponentially of people that are sick. The number of serious sicknesses are gonna be minuscule in comparison. It's what we've seen. It's been the pattern. I don't, it's serious. I'm not trying to downplay the seriousness of this. Social distancing is necessary. All the steps we're taking are necessary. Buying toilet paper by the ton is not necessary, but that's a thing, apparently.
That's so stupid.
I don't understand. This is not a diarrhea epidemic. You're just getting sick. You're not pooping a lot. Stop buying so much toilet paper. I don't get it. Stop.
It's pretty incredible.
No, you know what? Americans are supposed to be smarter. Social media is supposed to make you smarter in a way. You're supposed to be more aware. You're supposed to have more information.
Yeah, you're definitely supposed to be more aware. I don't
buy toilet paper.
I don't want to stray too far away from sports, but I want to say that it is one thing that it kind of seems like, we're in America. We've been a little coddled to a lot of adverse conditions, like something like this, where a pandemic happens, and you're like, okay, guys, you need to stay inside. You're probably going to get sick.
Toilet paper.
Yeah. So people are freaking out that they're going to lose maybe their lifestyle they like to have. So they want to take everything that they need in case they're holed up for 6 months, maybe. I don't know. Why else would you have that?
But this is not a snowstorm. This is not a natural disaster. For all we know, the power grid has not been touched. We're going to be able to cook things.
It's the unknowns. That's what it is. It's the unknowns, and people are freaking out. And it's fair to freak out to unknowns. It's not fair to go and buy all the toilet paper in the store. Not fair when someone has to go to 6 stores, 6 stores, and then end up getting toilet paper from a 7-Eleven.
To fight over toilet paper is the worst. Yeah. I've seen people fighting over toilet. Just go somewhere else. Just go to another store. My God.
All right, let's move on.
So we'll, kudos to all the players stepping up. Kudos to the leagues. The NHL is paying their players for the last 3 games. It's there's been some good in terms of goodwill from a lot of these places, a lot of these leagues that are doing the right things, and a lot of the players stepping up and acknowledging the arena workers and things like that. There's been a lot of, Curry raising awareness about social distancing. Good stuff coming out about it, about a very negative thing. So hopefully we continue to see that. But David, you ready?
Yeah.
We have actual sports news.
I know.
Real sports.
I know. When all hope is lost, he came back. We found the NFL in an iceberg.
The Titanic left the NFL there just hanging, and we clutched it, and we're coddling it, and we're taking it and caressing it and feeding it bottles so it grows and continues to give us news. Anyway, first things first, we're going to touch real quick. The CBA got ratified. We talked all about the CBA and everything. Extremely close. I think it was like
stupid close.
51% to 49. Like it was.
Yeah, no, that's really what it was. It was within 100 votes, I think.
And I think Nate Solder spoke for a lot of the little guys that voted this in. I think it was mostly the little guy push that got this passed, and it helps the little guy in the NFL. So the playoffs start next year, not this football season, I think next football season.
No.
And 4 years from now, the 17-game schedule is going to go into effect. But I think most of the other things go into effect next year. So it's going to be interesting. Seeing 17 games is going to be weird. Seeing an extra playoff team is not going to really be too effective. It's going to be fun to see kind of the race for the bye now. That'll be interesting. The top few teams fighting.
Now that 1 seed is pivotal.
Yeah, you don't want to be the 2 seed
pivotal.
that could potentially be upset. An 11-3 2 seed playing a 8-8 7 seed for an upset. You don't want to see that.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be 11-3. It'd be 11-4. 11-5. Oh my God. We watch football, right?
11-6 now.
Well, 11-6 now, 17 game, but 11-5 for when it's still 16.
Why was I thinking of 11-3? Oh, that's usually the time where the Jets fold and lose 2 games and fall out of first place if they were there.
That's exactly.
It. I'm just thinking of my Jets brain. But anyway,
when would be in first place? So
shut up, Dave. You want to know why they're going to be in first place? You want to know why? Because Tom Brady's gone. That's why.
I want to touch on that last.
I ruined it. We will talk about it last. But that's why they are going to be in first place, because Sam Darnold's the premier quarterback, maybe next to Josh Allen. But we'll find out. Anyway, we're going to talk about some free agency stuff. We're going to talk about trades that have been going on. Dave, there's a lot of big names, more than I have seen, big name-wise.
This is a fun free agency.
Free agency usually has a lot of movement, but it's a lot of little names mostly.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch on just some of the bigger names. I tried to organize our little list. Our list is massive, Dave.
Yeah, but
of all the players that I'm.
You didn't make it in alphabetical order, and that's
screw that.
Throwing me off.
Good. Good thing I'm going to be the ones that talk about the guys. I'll let you talk about the trades. How does that sound? Just so your little brain doesn't get wrapped.
I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Quick mention of just players. Cowboys. They franchised Dak Prescott, took care of Amari Cooper, signed Amari Cooper to a 5-year, $100 million deal, $60 million guaranteed. Dak is franchised. I don't know the franchise number, but that's ridiculous to me. Yeah, that says a lot. The Browns might have made the dumbest move of the year, doing Browns things. They signed Austin Hooper, making him the highest paid tight end in the league while not being the best one. 4-year, $44 million, 24 guaranteed. They also signed Jack Conklin, which is a great sign. We wanted the Jets to sign him. 3 years, $42 million, 30 guaranteed. Bengals tagged AJ Green. Titans franchise tagged Derrick Henry. Brought Tannehill back for a nice contract. $118 million, 62 guaranteed. He better throw more in the playoffs next year. They also brought Vic Beasley Jr. Kirk Cousins is becoming the new cash cow of the NFL. Got a 2-year extension, $66 million with 61 guaranteed. A little off his mark of a fully guaranteed contract, but he'll leave that. He'll leave that.
How's he going to live?
On the table.
How's he going to live? How's he going to support his family on that? What's wrong with him?
What's the number he has guaranteed now? What did he have? 84 guaranteed last time, and now this is 61 on top of it, guaranteed. He's making baseball money.
My man's is paid to not perform in prime time. That's crazy.
You like that? Anyway, Chargers franchise Hunter Henry. We were wondering why the hell he was still around. Now he's not. Dolphins made a splash defensively. They signed Shaq Lawson on the line. They got Byron Jones in the secondary and Kyle Van Noy from the Patriots, a linebacker. So Dolphins are looking to make some moves on defense. Still don't have a quarterback that can throw the football. Fitzmagic will not have a good second year. The Bucks. We'll talk about them last, Dave.
Yeah.
Let's see. Giants made a splash. New York Football Giants.
The Giants had some very good moves.
Gettleman made moves on that defense. That defense is awful, and 2 players might have just made it a legitimate defense. They signed Blake Martinez, middle linebacker, possibly one of the best young middle linebackers in the game. 3 years, $30 million. And then they signed James Bradbury, who we wanted for the Jets corner. 3-year, $45 million with 32 guaranteed. One thing I noticed, Dave, I don't know if you noticed this. The guaranteed money is bigger than I've ever seen it.
Yeah, because you need to put the guaranteed money in there for a lot of players to sign.
Thanks,
if you want
Kirk
them,
Cousins.
yeah, no, if you want them and you want them more than another team, you're going to have to put the guaranteed money in there. Otherwise, they're not coming.
Most of them is usually, it looks like it's all around like 60%, 55 to 60% of the contract is guaranteed.
Yeah,
which is really good for the players. Breeze back with the Saints, no surprise there. Bears got Jimmy Graham. Don't know how much he's going to help there, but he's kind of a shell of himself. And they also signed Robert Quinn, another pass rusher who's kind of a shell of himself. Wasn't great on the Cowboys. Raiders put in competition for Carr, signed Marcus Mariota. Probably going to be a backup there. Also, Jason Witten there for a year. Texans get Randall Cobb, 3-year, $27 million, 18 guaranteed. The Jets, initially I was making fun of them because they only had George Font by the time that I was starting to write this down. It was okay. They actually made a decent move. They signed a center, Connor McGovern, 3-year, $27 million. He's a former Bronco. Definitely going to start. I think ESPN had him ranked third best interior lineman, so that's cool. Let's see. Colts signed Phillip Rivers, 1 year, $25 million. That's an outrageous contract. The Panthers signed Teddy Bridgewater, 3 years, $63 million. David, our prayers are answered. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL again, Dave.
I told you.
Thank you.
I don't understand why it didn't happen in the first place. I feel bad for Cam. That was weird. But
Cam Newton is going to get traded.
Yes.
Quick weird situation there. Panthers said it's a mutual thing. Cam comes out and is like, hell no, this isn't mutual. I didn't ask for this. So
yeah, it's weird.
It's not a good look for Cam. Shut up. Because you just lost the leverage you have with them to go where you want now. They're not going to take care of you. They were trying to take care of you. They're not going. If I'm the franchise and I'm trying to do something nice and put that out there because I knew we just signed his replacement, I was trying to make it a smooth transition. You want to be a jerk and come out and say, I didn't ask for that. Now you're going to the Browns.
He's not going to the Browns.
I would trade him to the Browns.
He may go to the Dolphins.
I wouldn't trade him there. He has a chance to win. I would trade him to the worst team in the league.
They're going to trade him where they can get assets. They're not going to get assets they're only going to get assets from QB needy teams. They're not going to trade them to a hellhole. They can't. They legitimately can't.
Do you do Cam for Odell straight up?
No. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Why not? You get your quarterback and you get rid of a quote-unquote cancer. I don't think he's a cancer, but a quote-unquote cancer.
That's so stupid.
I don't know. All right, Dave.
That's so stupid.
All right, Dave, you're
wrong. All right, I'll go over some of the trades, and then we'll talk about the whole thing and what we think about some of these. So the 49ers and Colts got involved in a trade, which
is the biggest trade for me.
It's not the biggest trade for me, but it's one that should be talked about. So DeForest Buckner is going to the Colts, and the Colts gave up their first-round pick. And I believe something else, I don't remember exactly. I think it was like 2 picks.
One pick.
That. One pick from the Niners to the Colts, and 2 picks from the Colts to the Niners. But the Niners get a first-round pick for DeForest Buckner. That's huge. DeForest Buckner is very good.
He was a huge factor in the 49ers' success.
Exactly. He's a very good player. But now the Niners get another first-round pick. And that's scary, seeing as they're already a good team. They feel like that their line will be, and obviously they feel like their line will be just fine without DeForest Buckner there. And the Colts get a step up. The Colts are already a pretty damn good team. We'll see if Phillip Rivers can help them out.
So what do you do at 13 if you're the Niners?
I don't know.
Are you looking to just get Jimmy G another weapon?
Possibly.
Because
Emmanuel Sanders not getting Sanders not getting any younger.
No.
Debo is very good, so that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Who am I missing?
Godwin.
Thank you. Godwin's good.
Yeah. Home run
Godwin is good. You have Debo. You may need another one in there.
You get a nice big possession receiver to replace Emmanuel Sanders, and you're there.
Yeah. But I mean, you also have George Kittle, which he's always good, just blocking and receiving. The man's ridiculous. But anyway.
You have plenty of weapons out the backfield. So, yeah, Niners are in good shape.
Yeah, they're in great shape. Then they just helped themselves, and unfortunately, they had to get rid of DeForest. But whatever, you got to do what you got to do.
David, I hate this next trade for obvious reasons.
Yes, the Bills and Vikings went and traded with each other. The Vikings really don't like themselves. They gave Stephon Diggs over to the Bills.
I don't know, Dave. The Vikings won.
They did get a ton of picks, which is one thing that's going to drive me crazy about a trade that happened early.
Now, quick question, Dave. Is Diggs worth 4 picks, a first round?
No, he's not. He simply isn't. Listen,
super talented.
Stephon Diggs is a very good wide receiver. He is not that good.
If you tell me it's 4 picks and you're saying it's a second rounder, a fifth rounder, and then a future third and a fourth,
That is true. I can't say
Cool
the
with
Vikings. I can't say the Vikings made the wrong move here. I'm just upset that the Bills got Stephon
yeah,
Diggs.
if I'm getting a first rounder for Stephon Diggs, I don't care what else you throw in, unless it's like the 32nd pick. But if you're giving me a middle of the wrong pick in the first round for Diggs, who is a borderline 1, mostly a number 2,
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah. So that happened, and the Vikings got a ton of good picks. Maybe some that could help out Kirk Cousins, put another wide receiver in there, and then help out some other things that they may need. Finally, the trade that makes no sense to almost anyone. The Texans and the Cardinals went and talked, and the Cardinals talked to Bill O'Brien and say, listen, we know you're not good at anything you do. We want you to give us DeAndre Hopkins. We'll give you David Johnson, someone who's not even starting for us or even second string, and we'll swap some picks, and you won't get a first round for D-Hop. Stephon Diggs got a first round and three other picks. You won't get a first round for D-Hop. No, you're getting David Johnson, his whole contract, and a couple other picks, and you're going to give us a pick. I don't get this. Do you get this? I'm sorry. I may have made that more confusing. DeAndre Hopkins and a fourth-round pick went over to Arizona. David Johnson and 2 picks went over to Houston. Someone makes sense of that.
What happened was, I have this on a good source. So Kyler Murray had a good end to last year, right? Yeah. So he and Larry Fitz, one of the best receivers of all time, called up Bill on a conference call and was like, listen, flying down to Houston. We have a training center there. We're going to go train. You want to meet us real quick? We have to talk. I'm like, okay, cool. They meet up. They have coffee. And then they hold him up at knife point. And, Bill O'Brien don't care. He don't care about his life. He don't care about his team. So he's like, knives, nothing. So they stab him a few times. Bleeds a little, nothing fatal. Bill O'Brien still looks at him and goes, nah, I'm cool. They look at him and Larry goes, I'm going to get traded to your team if you don't give us D-Hop. He goes, no. I don't want to be good. I don't want to be good. I want to be mediocre, guys. Can we stop this? I'll give you D-Hop. What do you want? Kyle was like, Johnson's useless. He's gone. You're taking him. Okay. And that's how it went down, Dave. It's exactly how it went down. I have that on good knowledge.
Yeah.
Good stabbed a few times. But it was worth it in the end for him. Worth it. I think, Houston made out terribly. They're good.
I'm absolutely amazed. How do you do that? How do you make that move? I don't get it.
Unless he knows something about David Johnson, we don't.
Yeah, unless he's going to come back and be one of the best running backs in the league again, which I don't think he is. But even with that, how are you not getting a first-round pick?
So where does Deshaun Watson demand a trade to?
Somewhere else, son. Somewhere else. All right. Well, we have to talk about the biggest thing that happened in free agency that just happened today. He is gone.
Tommy Terrifics in Tampa Bay.
Finally gone.
Yes.
And like I've said before on this podcast, there's a love and hate here about
now, Dave, hold on. We're talking about the Bucs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So their biggest move, they brought JPP back.
Yeah, you're right. There's their biggest
what you're talking about pales in comparison. I honestly want to light off some fireworks for that move. Anyway, continue.
Down with JPP.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with him leaving. Love that the stranglehold in the AFC East may finally be over.
The AFC is gone. AFC, no more stranglehold in the AFC.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, now he's over in the AFC. He's going to face Drew Brees twice. And
Matt Ryan. Yeah. Oh, he gets to haunt Matt Ryan some more.
Exactly.
That's why he did it.
Just to make fun of him.
He's going to let him go up 28-3 twice a year now and then beat him.
No, but then the hate part of me is like, we never truly beat Tom Brady.
My theory is coming into fruition, Dave.
What is that?
It's the Jets' turn.
Yeah, I hope so. We got to see what happens in the rest of this free agency. I don't know, man. We'll see.
Did we get any factual numbers on his contract? I know the rumor was it was a $30 million a year.
$30 million a year. I don't know how long. I'm going to guess maybe 3.
There's a lot of 3-year contracts, Dave. A lot of 3-year contracts.
People love the 3-year contracts.
I think it's easier to work out that money that way.
It is. It's easier to work out the money, easier to say, okay, this might not be working out. Time to go somewhere else. You're not held down onto a team and only up to a team's whims if you're a player in a 3-year contract.
So what do you think of Tom Brady matching up with Bruce Arians now? and also having Mike Evans to throw to and OJ Howard.
Yeah, no,
And
I think this might have actually been. Oh, excuse me. This might have actually been the best move for him offensively. He can really do damage with that offense. That offense is already terrifying. So we'll see. I mean, the interceptions are going to be cut down. So
unless we see a Peyton Manning-esque cliff fall from Tom Brady, you are correct. But you talk about this being the best choice. It was between two good options because apparently the Chargers had a similar offer on the table.
Doubt.
And then the
no
Chargers,
doubt.
they have Eckler behind them. They have Keenan Allen to throw the ball to. So it's, and now Hunter Henry's tagged there. The weapons were similar. I feel like, yes, the Bucs are a little more explosive, but it's not like he would have been lacking over in LA.
No, he would not have been lacking in LA.
And they're both briefcase fans.
Yeah. No, he would not have been lacking in LA. It's just that with the Bucs, I'm sorry, Mike Evans is absolutely disgusting. He is one of the most underappreciated wide receivers in the league. He can do whatever he wants.
He's not going to be. He's under a microscope now with Tom Brady there.
That is true, and he'll get a lot this year. He's going to have a great year.
Now, just history real quick. The last time the Bucs made a big splash for an AFC East player was, do you remember?
Who? I don't know.
Darrelle Revis. How did that work out?
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, that's
completely
different. That is completely
different. Two guys nearing the end of their career, wanting out of pretty good situations and the Jets kind of tossed Darrell out because he was kind of being a little negative Nancy, not showing up. Tom Brady's a different situation, but similar. They're both kind of on their way out. They're both
I get it. Tom has definitely shown that age defeats everyone. So it's not like he's been fantastic these past few years. He's still been good, but not fantastic. He hasn't been Tom Brady. You don't have to watch every single game to realize that. But he's still going to be good enough to put up some good numbers with this offense and do damage in the NFC South.
For me, the deal breaker probably was, can my trainer be in the facility at all times? I'm not even kidding. I think that was part of the reason why he wanted out of New England. Because Bill didn't want his trainer there, and his trainer is obviously a big part to the way he feels that he is continuing to play at a high level because his trainer is his nutritionist. It's everything for him. It's the TB12 theory is because of this guy. I really feel like that was a big motivating factor to anywhere he's going to go is, can my guy be in here at all times with me, and do I have to do the same program as everybody else? Because if you're going to tell Tom Brady you have to do it, he's not going to go to your team.
No, that's true.
So I really feel like there's definitely a deal there, and Bruce is kind of like, listen, I don't care. Do what you want. Let's just win some games.
Exactly.
Follow my scheme. Let's win some games.
Yeah, and with Bruce Arians there, that also is a big factor. It's not like Anthony Lynn's a bad coach, but Bruce Arians has already proved himself as a very good coach. So that is a big factor in going over there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. There'll be some growing pains early, obviously, especially – the training camps being pushed back usually would help a veteran like Brady because he doesn't want to take all the hits and everything, but there's only so much of a playbook you can read. There's only so many times, he can't even really get together with his guys and throw the ball around to get used to it because you don't want to contract this stuff. You don't want to have the COVID-19 stuff. That's where the scare kind of comes in. But Giselle's out the Northeast. She gets her way. She's in somewhere sunny.
I don't blame her, man.
Neither do I.
You're there for a while. You're done with it. You want sun.
What was she married to Tom the last 15 years at least?
I think.
Tom
I
has
don't
been
know
there
how...
for 20. She's been there for at least a decade and change. So
I don't know exactly how long, but you've been there for too long. You need sun. I get it.
You need to listen. You were the highest paid supermodel on the planet, and probably if you came out of retirement would be again. Sorry, Jenner, you're not Giselle, but I really think I've been saying this for a long time. Whether Tom wanted to go back to the Patriots or not, he wasn't going back. They were not negotiating with Tom Brady and his agent. They were negotiating with Giselle, and Giselle was like, hard pass. I'm not freezing anymore. Period. Done.
And if that were true, I completely agree with her. It's that simple. Completely agree. Yeah, we've already won 6 rings. Why are we cold?
Yeah, seriously. Why? You proved it all. You're from Cali, Tom. Go somewhere warm again.
Exactly.
Giselle's like, all right, cool. I can do photo shoots again in my backyard now, and let's make some real money instead of your $30 million pocket change. Pish posh.
Exactly.
God, I hate that family. But now I can like Tom Brady.
Yeah, that is true.
I hate him, but I like him.
Now you can say nicer things about him.
If he's successful, I'm still going to hate him. Like, if he's still
exactly.
good, if they win like 10 games next year in Tampa, I am going to hate him probably more than with the Patriots, because at least the Patriots is something he helped build.
Yeah.
If he just goes there and does that and is like, oh, and he throws for like 4,000 yards, I'm just going to
Yeah, well, that probably is going to happen. Okay. Real quick, though, do you want to go over which teams so far that you think have done good and have done bad? You can just pick one each.
All right. So
I feel like doing it. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, sure. Good. Giants. The Giants are my good right now. That defense is terrible. They have two of the top defensive free agents off the board. I thought they did pretty good with the money side too. 3-year, $30 million for Blake Martinez. It's a high-end guy. Getting him for 10 a year is a really good number. They have a lot of money to throw around there. And then 45 with 32 guaranteed for Bradbury. Corners are always a chance now, but he's a really talented guy. So I think the Giants have made a nice big splash there. Losers, I gotta say, it's Houston for that trade. That trade is absolutely terrible. And then their big signing right now is Randall Cobb, who's a nice player. You're paying him 18.75.
He ain't no D-Hop.
Guaranteed, huh?
He ain't no D-Hop.
He ain't no D-Hop. He's not a replacement. So got to say the Texans are the losers and probably have a good chance of missing out on the playoffs next year because of this one move, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So you took my team.
Uh-huh.
My good team. I was going to talk about the Giants, but you already did. So I'm going to go and say the Cardinals. The Cardinals are my second team that are doing pretty damn well. I mean, you got D-Hop. You got a pick as well. And you got rid of David Johnson and his contract. And do those picks really matter? You got Kyler a lot of help. And now it's D-Hop, Larry, Christian Kirk. You have Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds. Oh, do they have a tight end we should care about? I don't remember.
Probably everyone does now.
Yeah, exactly. But you got Kyler a lot of help. And Kyler came together by the end of the season. He did not look bad. Now, maybe you have to work on – that defense isn't terrible, but it's not good. So you have to work on that defense a little more. But that's a great start for the Cards in this free agency. So my team that I don't think is doing very well are the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't mind a Jarwin extension.
But is Cooper worth being one of the top paid receivers in the league? That's
exactly what it is. I do not think Amari Cooper is worth being the top wide receiver, one of the top wide receivers in the league. Amari Cooper is good. He is good, and he's very good in some games. But he is not one of the top wide receivers. That money is outrageous. And then you franchise Dak. Listen, you can dislike Dak as much as you want. Now, you can be like any Eagles, Giants, or Redskins fan can hate Dak as much as they want. You have to respect the year he had last year. You have to respect how well he played for that team, especially when Zeke wasn't performing that well sometimes, especially when that defense wasn't performing that well sometimes. Dak still put it down for the most part, game after game for the Cowboys last year. And he deserved to get paid something. Maybe, was he asking for $40 million? Maybe that's a little much. But still, give him something. You franchise the man. He's going to hate you after a little bit, Jerry.
In their defense, they think they did offer him like 30, 33 a year, and he turned it down. So it's a give and take there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, but
it's a give and take.
It's hard, man, because
they were trying to negotiate. He told them to screw, so they're like, all right, we're going to pay your weapon. Now you're going to have to take less because we got you a weapon.
Yeah,
I don't think Dak's in a Cowboys uniform next year.
He probably isn't going to be. And that's unfortunate for the Cowboys because, listen, Dak is one of the new school QBs that works in this NFL.
Yep.
He can move very well. He can run, and he can score a touchdown from 20 yards out just sprinting towards it.
And he could throw it good enough.
What?
And he could throw good enough.
He throws more than well enough. Yeah. He's accurate within 10 yards, and he can get the deep ball downfield when he wants to. Especially he did a lot more last year. So Dak is a good quarterback, and it's going to be hard to find something like that again if he leaves.
So quick secondary winners: Dolphins, Shaq Lawson, Byron Jones, Kyle Van Noy, three starters. That's awesome.
Great job by them for building up that defense.
Secondary losers right now: Raiders, Mariota's a backup, Witten's old. That's really it. They're saving it for the draft, I think.
The only reason you pick up Mariota is you're basically telling Carr, listen, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Because it's either you don't want to be benched for Marcus Mariota, the man that got benched for Ryan Tannehill.
Mariota to Carr is what Tannehill was to Mariota. It's exactly it.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we shall see. But yeah, those are so far, and free agency's not done. So it's going to be interesting.
It's not even started technically.
Yes, it's the tampering.
The legal tampering period.
So stupid. The league day starts tomorrow. Tomorrow is when the league actually officially opens again.
Yeah.
I talked about how dumb this is.
So technically, all these signings, some of them could not occur.
They could listen. This happened to the Jets last year with Barr.
With Anthony Barr, yeah.
With Anthony Barr, they had some of these principle, and then he backed out.
Exactly. Some of these could not occur. Most of them will. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually Anthony Barr.
God, if
isn't
Tom Brady backs out,
big memer
with the Patriots for less, I will cry.
That, you know what? I kind of laugh. It's like, did we expect the evil empire to really give us that?
Yes. I've been calling it for so long. Yes. Yes. But all right, we got to close this show out. Dave?
Yeah?
You have anything to say?
Sad times. Obviously stay safe, but sad times because sports are gone. The XFL, unfortunately, had to suspend their season.
But they are not done.
They said they're going to be back. It really sucks that they were doing pretty damn well. I'm pretty sure they're going to finish their season at least. And then this had to happen to them. I mean, what can you do?
They may get to retain P.J. Walker through technicalities. And if they can retain P.J. Walker, they have a league.
Yes.
He is the key to having a league next year.
Yes, 100%. Convince
him to stay and you have a league. If he leaves, it might be over. Honestly.
Well, we'll see. Everyone stay safe, wash your hands, practice social distancing. If you do feel any sick and you are not dying, just stay home, please.
There we go. Again, I agree with David, social distancing. Please do what you're asked about. Pay attention to CDC. Listen to the experts. Just stay away. Just don't go out. All the idiots in Florida, spring break college kids right now that are morons that are flooding the beaches. God, you're stupid. Stop it. Don't you have grandparents? Stop it. Anyway, I'm Alex Cuesta. He's David Cuesta. You can find him on Twitter at dcuesta308. Find him on Instagram at QuestaCola. I'm Alex Cuesta. Find me on Twitter at _Cuesta30. That's also for Instagram. Find Sports Opinions on Twitter at SportsOpinion30. Instagram, Sports Opinions30. Visit the Facebook page. Sports Opinions should be back on track this week. With a guest, we had some hiccups, but that's okay. And go visit the Facebook page and tell everyone that, you guys are going to be sitting inside for a while now. Start listening to some podcasts, specifically these podcasts. So once again, I'm Alex. He's David. We really appreciate you guys for listening. Everybody stay safe out there. We will have stuff to talk about next week, whether we make it up or not. You might enjoy that. See you guys later, everyone.
Madden simulations.
Or the bracket that could have been on NCAA. Anyway, have a good one, everybody.